Good night.
Right, we're going live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode on YouTube. This is the British Hive Mind. We're here together to, well, look at this episode specifically is to look at more of the education system, the indoctrination system, and the implications of it and the implications on the future generations. So, got a couple of guests in the room with me today, and if they'd like to take it away, introduce themselves, and we'll carry on. All right, everybody. Well, we've got Alice in the room. We've got Neo in the room as well with us. And we're just making sure that we go live. We've got everything ready, set up. And this is our first attempt on YouTube. Normally we do go live on Facebook, but I've been banned. So, the censoring goes on there. I'm not sure how long we'll be able to go on here. We might censor us on here as well. But, this is the Hive Mind. We burrow down into the rabbit holes, shine a light in dark places, and let people know and let people find out. Well, our opinions, some facts, and, our life experiences as well. So, because...
Yes, it's been a very... rocky road in education for a long time.
Every school is different, but every school has to sing from... I was going to say sing from the same hymn sheet, but they can't do that anymore, can they?
They're not allowed hymns, mate.
No. They've all got to prescribe to the narrative, let's put it, and the syllabus that is government mandated. So it's now turning into teaching people what to think, not how to think.
Yes, that is exactly right. So I wonder what Alice has to say on this.
Hello, guys. I was having difficulties then with my reception, but I've got you back now, so that's fine.
Good.
What are we talking about? Education.
Education, indoctrination.
The lack of it, which is more...
to the point.
To the point, yeah. I've always been not anti-education, but anti-authority.
I think we all share that.
My youngest is 17, and he's never been to school. My eldest is 32, and he only went to school till he was 9. And then I educated him at home.
Wow. So how did you manage to do that? With the authorities?
Yeah, well, with the first one, it was a bit scary because you think that it's the law, you've got to do it. We're all slaves and you've got to do as you're told. But that isn't the case at all. You have a responsibility as a parent to educate your child. If they've been to school at all, then it's a little bit more formal. You have to do curriculums and stuff and present them to the educational authority. They come and check it. But if your child's never been to school, they don't bother. They've got no say in anything that you do with them at all, which is quite good.
Yeah, something that I'd love to do is homeschool.
Yeah, so if you put them into the system, it's a lot more difficult to get them out of the system.
Yes.
So if you keep them out of the system in the first place, then it's your child. Like you said, you have the right and the responsibility to educate that child and to make sure that child is, fully aware of the world around them.
First and foremost, for a parent, really is to educate their child.
Yeah.
Even that's through actions or words. It's educating them because they don't know anything. you're teaching them life, aren't you? Teaching them skills and how to move about. And I see that as a problem with most younger parents today, or parents today, is that they don't really educate from a young age. They kind of just let them dwindle on with their own little things, stick them in front of the TV, expect the nursery or the school to educate them. The school's really kind of just a glorified nursery, in all honesty. Childminders.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Prior to becoming a smallholder, I actually worked, or I had day nurseries. I had 2. And I worked as a consultant for the NHS at Wythenshawe Hospital when they were setting up their childcare facility there. I was responsible for about 150 kids altogether, registered to look after them. I was the registered licence holder of these things. And even doing that, I still decided to not send my own kids to school. The parents just couldn't wait to get rid of them. They shouldn't have been, a lot of them. Sorry. That's the way
I totally agree. I really do. Because there's my ex-fiance, she used to work at what I would say a corporate childminders nursery. She worked at a place called Kiddie Crew. And she used to say, like, that parents would drop them off as early as they could to get, like, literally so they weren't spending any time with them, and literally the last second at night. And I was like, wow. I was like, how do these people live like this? It's not right. It's not right to treat children like they're possessions. They're not possessions.
So we used to have to go home in a nappy. So we knew it was our nappy because we had a particular brand and they all brought their own in. The child would go home, or a child would go home in a nursery nappy and come back in the morning in the same nappy, having had a McDonald's on the way home and then thrown into bed.
Yeah.
That destroys me, is that parents will actually feed their kids McDonald's or any fast food, and they just don't give them like any just pure natural food. It's mind-boggling. I was talking about this at work, and I was like, do you know the sort of chemicals and the harm that causes to children eating that food? I was like, just think how crappy an adult feels after eating the McDonald's and that. Kids aren't supposed to be, well, humans aren't supposed to be consuming that sort of product. No little children. And one woman, growing. One woman goes, Glenn, you're completely right. My child doesn't even know what chocolate is. Rather have a strawberry or grape over chocolate because it doesn't know what it is, but it knows what a grape and a strawberry is or something. I was like, no, that's the type of child that should be in everyone's home.
Yeah, that's going to grow up a lot more developed, smarter as well, with a higher IQ.
Developing
not
properly.
Smart. We don't want smart. Keep away from smart. Everything's smart.
No, developing as a child should. That's the thing. Letting them develop how they should, not feeding them rubbish. Don't let them in front of the TV. Like, I was speaking to this woman, and now she stopped giving her child the tablet because of stuff that I've said. I was like, they'll be watching your child. I was like, there's back doors and everything, and I'll just let in to everything. I was like, there's certain channels that are out there that are like on YouTube that are purposely to manipulate minds and their children's programs. And I showed her them, and she was like, right, that's it, no more. It's not on there. It's too easy to get to.
I've even heard of neuro-linguistic programmers going into school and doing school classes for the whole class in neuro-linguistic programming and programming the children using techniques like close your eyes and do as we say, and using a very calm tone of voice, but actually physically programming their brains whilst they're in school. That's very scary to me.
That's why they want them there early. That's why the inclusion, the society we live in has engineered it so that both parents now have to go to work. Women's liberation was the worst thing that ever happened to society.
Oh, I
because
bet.
instead of mum's being at home being the carer and the educator, they're now a breadwinner like dad is. So then your children are handed over to the state to educate and bring up and teach morals and right from wrong and what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat.
Yeah.
And people don't know how to parent anymore.
Yeah, well,
you're so right. My mate's missus, who doesn't work, she doesn't really do a lot of it. Like for me, if I was a child who was 4 or 5 years old, I'd be doing at least 3-4 hours of education broken up throughout the day, so it's not too much at once.
Yep.
Every day, 5 days a week. And then increasing it a little bit by a little bit, more and more as they get older.
And the life lessons you can teach as well. You know, because you don't learn proper life lessons and life skills in school. You only learn the curriculum lessons in school and a lot of cultural lessons as well. You know, when, as Lynn were previously saying, you know, a lot of this the feminine movement, the feminazis, they are, it's very, really detrimental to society as a whole, because they are painting the housewife or the devout mother as being something that's bad, as being something that should be looked down upon, and isn't one of the best jobs, one of the best roles in society that there ever is or ever was or ever will be.
It's a privilege, and it's the biggest responsibility you'll ever have.
And people are shying away from. People are running away from that responsibility by throwing the kids into the indoctrination centres.
It's a lot that's been forced upon us with like materialism from a young age now. Girls are taught to have low self-esteem, literally, because if you don't look like this or like that, then you've got to use a filter. You got to use this, you got to use that, so you don't look like who you are. And then suddenly you want to be like someone else. It's well,
I've seen this.
Says from a very young age, they're very controlled, and the teachers are probably the biggest lefties you could ever imagine.
Well, I've seen what you just said in sort of if you look at it in like the caveman sort of way. And a lot of the women nowadays, especially the young girls nowadays, they can't bring very much to the relationship. You know, they can't cook, they can't clean, they can't uphold a good household, they can't educate the children, they can't bring really much anything to the relationship.
And they can't parent.
Apart from
they can't.
Apart from sex, apart from the very dark, primitive want and need for a lust.
For that now, you know.
Of lust. So they are focusing now, instead of focusing on, you know, being good house people, housewomen, or, you know, being good in the relationship on that side. There seems to be the main focus is on how they look, how they can attract the mate, instead of how they can keep the mate.
I've got no objection. So, like, say if I was with a woman, right, and she had a really good career, right, and so now I was able, because I'm able to do what I want to do without going to work for someone else. But if it was the case that she went to work and I stayed at home, I'm quite happy to do that, right? I'm not talking about your stereotypical just stay at home housewife. But do you know what? I'd like my partner to know how to cook, is willing to clean, is willing to help bring up a family and educate and spend time with them. I wouldn't want someone that's so dedicated to their career or so away from home that you never seen them or they never spent any time with the family. And that's the problem. Like Lynn said, it's been engineered. So if you want to buy a home or you live in a certain area, you've got no choice but for one of you or both of you to work. If one of you works, then they've got to work literally all day. It's difficult. It's difficult.
Someone else is bringing your kids up because from the minute you wake up, they're rushed into the car, give them breakfast at nursery, bring them home, put them straight to bed, and that's the life. And what's the point?
No, it's not. For me, I'd be happy with a stay-at-home wife and me going to work and earning the bread.
Other cultures that come and live here, they don't do what we do. They have lots of wives and they stay at home and they look after the children. It's only us.
The West.
Affected by it. Yeah.
Well, it's part of our education system. You know, it's part of the cultural education.
It doesn't happen in primary either.
No, and it's
no. They look after each other, and the families stay together, and the old people. They don't have old folks' homes.
No, the old folk live with the eldest member of the family or someone like that, don't they?
Mm.
Yeah,
and they look after them.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, I think exactly the same, because guess what? They wiped your ass when you was growing up. Guess what? Roles reversed. You've got to wipe their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've always said to my dad, if I've got to wipe your ass, Dad, I've got to wipe your ass, because guess what? You wipe mine and your shit's as smelly as my shit.
Mm. Yeah. Well,
it's a bottom line, isn't it?
Yeah. And like you're saying, it's done by design. You know, we are being taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed to a point now where the man can't go out and be the breadwinner at a low paid job. You know, just a normal factory job or manufacturing job, or they can't make enough money to cover everything. So the woman does have to go out to work, and you do have to put your kids into the education system, and it's all there and done by design.
Yep. It is. It is a plan. It's a plan. It always has been a plan.
And that's why.
Well, it's a plan.
Yeah, and that's why the other culture is so good at scamming the welfare system and the tax breaks system, and really getting away with being able to have someone at home to educate the kids instead of having to put them into the indoctrination system.
Well, I did make an announcement to everyone when I was on Facebook once. I think it was with Dave or someone. I did announce, if anyone wants to have any children, I'm happy to donate, and we can have like a football team or something. I don't mind. I really don't. Let's start.
Well, that's very, very, very sweet of you. You're such a sweet giving man.
I'll look after the children as well. I'm not just going to donate and leave, but I think that every white family should have at least 4 children. At least.
That's what we've got
Every
to
single
do.
white family.
Yeah.
At least 4 children. Every single family. Because if it gets to that point, guess what? Our birth rate shot up, and we ain't got to worry about what do you call it?
Demographics.
System educating our children, or immigration, because we'll be educating our children. Because guess what? Can't go to work because we've got like 11 children. It's quite difficult to go to work with 11 children.
Well, it's a business, isn't it?
It is. Look at Del. Look at Del Irons. He does it. He's got what? 7 children, and he owns his own shop. That's what I'd do.
It's a lot.
I'd have my own cannabis cafe.
Well, we can plan for the future that we're going to make. That's it. Like we always say.
Mine's in place. I've got everything in place for my little cafe.
Yeah, and we don't have to stick with this crappy system anymore, because we can see that it's broken. We can see that it's not working properly, and we can see that it's going to have to be us that's going to have to get out there and change it and put the right sort of system in place.
Well, if you look at it with the education system, so this is what I think. You've got an education system that, one, does not teach grammar. 2, doesn't teach you a constitution.
Mm.
And 3, doesn't teach you economics. Guess what? You need all of those in life.
Yep.
I don't need to learn RE. I don't need to learn history as a main subject. Guess what? We touch on it, but the history isn't going to affect our future. It reflects what we can do into the future, but it's not a necessary thing unless if you want to go down that line of being a historian or something like that, and have these technical colleges and technical places where they can go to do like engineering or history or something. Do something that's not in the mainstream. But in the mainstream is what's required in life, like your maths, English, science. Then you do like your constitution, geography, economics, and you do it from a young age, and you slowly build the economics, because economics can be built into maths as well.
Yeah.
So they're both kind of entwined. So you could make it as one subject, because guess what? In economics, you've got to learn all types of maths anyway, and you don't have to learn specific maths that is only going to be required in design or in science or in. You can actually learn it in the thing that required for it. So it's more specific instead of being overall and general. And that's the problem. It's just here's a general idea. We're going to force it down your throat. We've got to remember it, because in a week's time we've got a test, okay? And if you don't remember it and you don't pass the test, we're going to label you as stupid and that you're not good enough in society. Well, hang on. Guess what? I was originally told that I was going to do nothing. I think I've done more than what any of my teachers have ever managed to do in their life, because not one teacher that taught me had been to Australia and travelled it and done stuff like that and worked in another country and taught them English. What's success? What is success? Success is only what you perceive it as.
Success,
in my opinion.
Success is leaving the world a better place than when you arrived.
No, that's a legacy.
But it's a success.
Happiness, being happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you
know.
What's got lost. In the morning, with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And you're really looking forward to going and do whatever it is you choose to do to make a living, to look after your family or to provide for your family or just for yourself. And you're happy. That's success, I think.
Yeah. And to put it onto a government and to put it onto a governmental scale, you know, we're valued at our gross national product, not our gross national happiness.
That's wrong.
I know it's a completely wrong way to look at it. You know, we should be looking at our living standards. How good are our living standards? That should be, to have the best living standards in the world. That should be the government's quest. That all its people are happy.
We're a product, though, isn't it? We are the product. So they don't really care about us. We're a means to an end for the economic system that's set up. We're just a means to an end, and we're like apples or potatoes or cattle or
good little slaves.
Our needs.
We're being used to create wealth for a very few amount of people, having the illusion of making money yourself, then coming to the end of the month and going, I still haven't got a pot to piss in.
Yeah.
How has this happened? One, a lot of people live beyond their means. I'm not going to lie. And another thing is that it's structured in a way that's how we're supposed to. I explained to everyone, a few people, I say everyone, a few people at work, right, on a lunch break. I was like, because we was having a little debate, and I said, can you explain to me in what part of your life you do not pay tax? And they was like, what? I was like, tell me in whatever part of your life it may be that you pay tax on. They started coming out of all these things. I was like, that's tax. That's tax. I was like, the air you breathe is taxed. And I was like, what? I was like, the air you breathe is taxed. I was like, you got a car? Guess what? You're paying for the air.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was like, how stupid are you? I was like, you're paying tax at every corner. Not only does it automatically get taken out of your wages before you even get a choice to say yes or no,
Yep.
you've got to pay 2 lots of contributions, one an income tax, or one a forced tax, and one a contribution base you can draw out of it, but you don't get any benefits from it, like using NHS and stuff like that. And how do people still think that our income tax pays for the NHS when it's actually our national insurance?
Well, that's debatable, that, isn't it?
It's our national insurance, the contribution-based thing that is meant to be for a number of things.
Yeah.
Like a pension, our schooling, our health, everything. It's meant to be all incorporated into it, but we still pay an income tax.
Yep. Paying for the champagne at the bar.
They still couldn't understand that they were being taxed on everything that they do. I was like, no matter what you do, it's like the socks you buy, the clothes you buy, the sweets you buy. I was like, the water you buy. I was like, you are still paying for your water from the ours is Anglian Water, and we call them the water. I call them the water board.
Yeah,
right.
That's the general.
Yeah, as a general.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you're still paying for this. I was like, tell me where the water board buy their water from. And I was like, what? I was like, where do they buy their water from to give it to you? And I was like, well, I don't know. I was like, are you telling me they buy it from the sea, or they buy it from the sky, or they buy it from a river? I was like, these things are natural. Water is a natural source. You're being charged for a natural source. I was like, how stupid do you feel? And I was like, what? I was like, you're being charged. Like, don't forget, 80% of the water that comes out of your tap in your house goes back to them very people you've just paid for. And I was like, how do you work that out? I was like, because the other 20%, you can take a piss or something in someone else's house or at work. I was like, but you run a bath, the water goes back to them. You wash up, the water goes back to them. You take your washing machine, water goes back to them. Water goes back to them, even the rainwater, the water when you wash your car, it goes back to them.
Yep.
I was like, and even the stuff that's evaporated, it'll end up back to them one way or another because it'll start raining again.
It's a cycle.
So guess what? They're in a win-win situation. They're getting something for free and charging you for it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, don't get me wrong, the wastage charge and the wastage charge, which incorporates the cleaning, the taking from and to your home,
the infrastructure.
That I believe in paying for because that's a service, and we need the ability for it to be cleaned but properly and not filled with crap. And that's the other thing. I was like, you're paying to be poisoned as well. You're paying for your own death. Well, it's quite funny, really.
I've got a water distiller, Glenn. I've got a water distiller, and I've done about 20, 30 litres of water through it, and there was a thick layer of slime on the bottom of it. And if I could, I should have filmed it so I could show people. But it looked like plaster that you put on wall.
The next one.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to distill about 20, 30 litres of water and show people exactly what's coming out of that tap, because it was like plaster that you put on a wall. It was that thick and that colour, that sandy sort of colour. Horrible.
I just think,
but
kids are drinking this water.
Yeah,
kids are drinking this water as well. That's the other thing that annoys me. Is that other people can't see. Is that a lot for me? I couldn't care less about myself. Obviously, I do want to be alive, so I can help bring about change, or at least have an effect on the world. But ultimately, my goal is for the better of our future generations, because I don't want them to live through the crap that I lived in, and I can't just do it on a personal level because it won't make a difference. It doesn't matter whether it's just me, I have a couple of children and I make a change just in their lives. So I do everything that I can that the system doesn't want me to. But ultimately, the system still wins, because guess what? They have to go into that system.
Yeah, like
when they go into the working life, when they go into the real world. So the only way to change the system is literally to change the whole lot.
Yeah,
and that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to help to take over and take back control.
Now, getting back to the education part, because the education part is a huge part of the system. The education part, educating and teaching the people the lies that they want you to live by, is a huge part of the indoctrination system to make paying taxes an enormous amount of taxes on absolutely everything as to be normal, the right way to do things.
Good point to go on that is from a very young age, they teach them fossil fuels. These are bad. Well, actually, oil's very natural, coal's very natural, and it's not very bad. It's just very bad in the way that it's being used. That's the difference.
Yeah. And, well, they're not being educated on the ways to, not the right way to get about using coal, using gas, using oil. They're not being taught this. They're not being taught that there's better ways of making energy.
The complete opposite.
Yeah.
They're being fed a false narrative. Like, for me, in science, right, they didn't teach me, right, that magnetic energy is possible as a free energy source. Why didn't they teach me that in school? Wouldn't that have been a bit of a benefit in life and finding out how that works?
Yep, that would be a great benefit to the world.
Instead of teaching me that fossil fuels are bad and that they were from dinosaur bones and stuff like that. Actually, it's just natural minerals.
And we're going to run out. We're going to run out in... Well, I'm sure they taught us at school that we were going to run out by now. We'd have run out by now, or there's a couple of years left.
Yeah. And guess what? They're finding more and more because it's the most natural resource you could get, because natural minerals are that exactly. They're natural. Yeah. And that's what needs to... And it's also like that case, if you're going to teach a child something, teach them the facts, teach them what's correct, what's right, not a said syllabus.
Yeah, not what you want them to believe. Don't teach them what you want them to believe. Teach them what is right and what is factual and the truth. Yeah.
And stop doing this grading business and just go and this passing thingy. Why do children need to be tested at every single corner?
No.
I don't believe that helps them in any sort of way.
But no, you should find out what the child is good at, because everybody's got different skills. Everybody's good at different things. So if you find out what the child is good at,
technical colleges would be a great idea.
Yeah, you know, some children are very good at communicating and talking and writing. So yes, put them into more the sort of English department and media departments and things like that to teach them how to be presenters.
Focus
on the strengths.
The thing that schools, the problem that the system teaches is work on your weaknesses and not on your strengths, when it should be work on your strengths and not on your weaknesses, because when you work on your strengths, your weaknesses will turn into your strengths.
Well, if you work on your strengths, you're more dedicated to what you're strong and good at, so you can be a better person at it.
Well,
yeah. Whereas if you're concentrating on your weaknesses, you tend to forget what you're good at, or not get as good at what you're good at, trying to make up for something that you're not good at, and you know you're kicking yourself in the face doing that.
It becomes a struggle because you
and it's why
you find yourself like, well, I don't enjoy this, I don't like this, I don't want to do this. I'm being told I have to, but I don't want to. And if you don't want to do something and don't enjoy doing it, you're not going to do well at it.
And it's why a lot of people a lot of children turn away from the education system and develop this.
Start selling.
Turn into the gangs and start turning into criminals because they think, well, that's the best way to make money. Well, because they've been taught that through the culture.
Make money and it's cool.
Yeah.
They think it's cool.
Oh, to be cool is the most important thing at school now. You know, when being educated and being intelligent is like the worst thing you can be at school, with it, we've hit rock bottom. We've hit a problem.
If you're smart or intelligent, you're bullied.
Yeah, you're ostracized.
How is that the case? How is that the case that a smart, intelligent person is bullied, right? When people who aren't as smart should be going, well, can you help us? Can you do this? The teacher should be going, do you want to sit with him today and maybe you can work together and stuff like this?
Yeah.
That's how you truly help people. Help.
Or you teach the children to say, or you teach the children to think, well, yeah, he is good at that. Well done for him. But I'm also good at this. So well done for me as well.
Yeah.
You know, because everybody's different.
It's making people, what is it? Commending people on their own individual achievements, not as a
collective.
Not as a collective, especially in that sort of environment. It's not what as a whole class do. Oh, look, majority of the class got pass grades. Oh, well done, class. Rah, rah, rah. That's got our statistics up for the year. Rah, rah, rah. Hang on. What about the other children? Why didn't they pass? What happened? Why didn't they? Let's get to the root cause of it. But they don't. They just, like in the medical industry, they treat symptoms, not the root cause.
Yeah, definitely. That's a huge problem with the education system. They don't ever ask the most important question, which is why. That is the most important question.
And do you know what? Even as a young child, like me, my dad, right? My dad would always say, right, because I'd ask why this, why that, why this, why that. I was always questioning everything. And he just kept on saying to me, well, why? Because why has a long tail, right? I was like, that doesn't answer my question. Why? And I used to be, and maybe that's the reason why. Because I've been a questionable child. I was a questionable child, and I brought it into my adulthood and brought it forward.
Yeah.
Maybe that was my biggest strength, questioning things.
Well, that's it.
I like questioning everything. I questioned everything at school.
Yeah. Honey M states in the comments that they don't want children thinking outside the box. They want to put people in the box and keep them in the box. Which is a very true statement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
And allowing kids to have smartphones and stuff like that.
You can see phone sickness in children already, where they're constantly glued to the screen.
They're distraction, isn't it? It's like even if they was to be at school, they can't be at school and not look at their phone because they have such a short attention span that they can't do it. Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. And I know that adults are guilty of it as well, but
well, it's the adults that are there constantly on the phone when the kids are around that's passing that off to the children. That behaviour,
that's right.
That behaviour is there instantly passing over to the child, and then the child wants the phone. The child wants to look at the phone, and then you've got the other parent. Then you've got the other parent that just goes, "Well, there you go, child. Have the phone. I'm going to ignore you now. That means I can ignore you because you're on the phone."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casting them aside, just giving them a distraction so you don't have to deal with them again. Like Lynn said, Alice said, lazy parenting.
Yeah. It seems to be the norm nowadays. Yeah.
I even asked my dad, like now, I've asked my dad, why didn't you teach me any of this? Why didn't you teach me any of that? Why didn't you let me know about this? And do you know what my dad said? He didn't even know half of it. I'm like, Dad, it's there.
Yeah. Well, there's something that's really scaring me about education in the school system at the moment, which I think I've heard from a couple of children. Why do I need to learn this? I can just use Google and find it out when I need to.
But you know what?
How scary is that? Because if Google and the search engine becomes the ministry of truth, which it is becoming, they're gonna instantly believe what they find on Google straight away.
Well, the thing is that they only know Google and they don't know the real true meaning behind Google and everything like that. So, like, if they was to use something like DuckDuckGo, yes, do you know what? The internet is exactly where I'm educating myself.
Yeah.
I'm not in school educating myself. I'm educating myself in real life and on the internet and joining up with people. And they're right. Because I've been to my doctor's, right? And my doctor has sat there and went on Google, right, to research something, right, whilst I was sitting there. And I was like, isn't it a shame that no one can remember a single thing nowadays, isn't it? And he looked at me and he knew I was hinting that he shouldn't be on Google and that he should know things.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, we're only taught to remember such things, such short things and only a certain amount of things. We can't know everything. Oh, can we? And he said, he goes, it's funny you say that because although the like say for becoming a doctor, what do they call them? The course is becoming longer but with less information. And half of them are taught by people from pharmaceutical companies that are like, push this drug, push that drug, this is what this drug does, this is what this drug does. They're not taught about actual medicine, like the real medicine.
You guys do know why it's called a practice, don't you?
Because they practice on us.
You do know why it's called a doctor's practice. The practice. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And do you know what? I've said to a doctor, I was like, I don't want a practicing doctor. I want a doctor. And he said, I am a doctor. I was like, no, you're not a real doctor. I was like, you're a general practitioner. So you're practicing something. What are you practicing?
Yeah.
How to poison you?
There you go.
How to be a pharmaceutical salesman?
Well, one of my doctors didn't even know about the Cancer Act of 1939. I was like, how do you not know about that?
They weren't taught it. And they've got no remit or reason to go and research it themselves. Because they're taught this is the pharmaceuticals, you've got to push these, you've got to sell these, this is the way to treat people.
Yeah. That's it. That's a very good emphasis on treat. Right?
Yeah.
And I know what you meant by it.
Yeah, because
it's not look after them.
No, it's how they should be.
Treat them in a specific way.
Yeah.
So, like, test subjects. Your test subject A, your test subject B, your test subject C. And do you know what? I've said that to my stepmom because I've told her to start coming off the pharmaceuticals. She's looked at the way my health's gone. How have you done it? I told her, and she's just gone, no, I'm still going to do this. I was like, well, you continue doing that, and it's going to get worse. I was like, because guess what? The doctor isn't there to look after you. He's there to examine you. And when you examine someone, you're not examining them as in looking at their well-being. You're examining the results of that medication.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah.
They treat, they don't cure.
And
yeah, they go in and out. She's been on and off, like, or in and out of certain medications, like for anxiety, depression, for I don't know. I've told her all of your ailments are caused by the pharmaceuticals. I was like, you could stop them. You could have a good diet. I was like, you could start taking CBD. I was like, you could be right as rain by doing the right things. I was like, but you choose not to. But this is a problem.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. The society is so lazy, they expect everyone to do things for them. But they expect the doctors to do something good for them.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're taught doctors do from a young age. Doctors help people. Oh, the doctor's going to help you. Well, no, he's not. He's going to poison me. There's a difference. That's not helping me.
Yeah.
Poison me is not helping me.
Well, if they did cure...
altering my state of consciousness into a dumbed-down consciousness when you're severely anxious or you have post-traumatic stress disorder, because I was misdiagnosed, right? I was told I had anxiety, depression. I actually had post-traumatic stress disorder after my accident, right, with my back. It took for a while, and it was my whole life had completely changed. I had post-traumatic stress disorder, and they didn't tell me I had that. I come to realise I had post-traumatic stress disorder.
You had to self-diagnose
what had happened and how my life had changed. Guess what? As soon as I accepted it, my whole life became it was a lot easier, and slowly I'm completely fine now. Now I've come to terms with things. I've come to the realisation it's a bit different if you're in the army, because
it's a different
I can understand why they're but general people who have accidents, whether it be a car accident or anything like that, they don't get depression, because depression is just being sad. You can be sad on various levels, right? You've got to find what's making you sad and revert that, not take a medication for it. Anxiety, exactly the same. If you've got anxiety, guess what? Find out what's making you anxious, get to the root cause of the problem, and rectify it.
Well, that's psychology. They don't want to treat people with psychology and psychiatrics. They want to treat people with medication.
With psychoactives.
Yeah, with psychoactives. So it's the easy get out. It's the easy way out, you know. Oh yeah, just take this pill, get away.
It's the symptom they treat.
Yeah. Take this pill, go away. Instead of, well, let's speak about it. Let's get to the bottom of it, and let's send you to a proper psychiatrist who knows what they're on about, and who can, you know, help you get to the root of your problem and help you overcome it.
But they do it to children, right? And they put them to psychology, but these psychologists aren't helping them. They're also feeding them specific informations and kind of hypnosis to a degree, and abusing children. It happens I'm not saying all cases, it happens in a lot of cases. Feeding a 14-year-old an antidepressant, well, to me, that's just
child abuse.
I don't know. The parent, what is the parent thinking? Going, my daughter can have that. No. Or my son can have that. No. Yeah. What's the problem? Yeah. Why is he depressed? What's going on? Let's get to the root cause of the problem.
Yeah. Well, we've got a comment here that Karen took a 12-year-old child to the doctors with pain in the heel, and the first GP actually said to them was injections.
Yeah, exactly.
Instead of light
What's
medication or exercise or
why is it happening? Why are you getting that pain in your heel?
Yeah.
Let's find out the reason why. It could be a trapped nerve. Let's try and get you an MRI scan, because that'll be the simplest and easiest way to find out, because we can look from the leg to the hip to the back, right?
Yeah.
That's completely fine. It's very easy, right? Not invasive at all. It causes very minimal damage. Obviously, there's a lot of magnets and frequencies and that, but it's not that bad. I've had a couple of them. They don't affect you that bad. There's a lot of
for one hit, it's not too bad. But if you keep going again and again and again and again and again, then it's gonna mount up. The radiation's not going to be good for you.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah,
but
yeah, I would go for that and then find out the root of it. Not go, here's a tablet or here's an injection. It's find out the root cause, because if you don't find out the root cause and just getting rid of the pain, well, guess what? That pain's only going to return again. But why is that going to return? Because the initial problem was not sorted.
Yeah. And if it is a problem with the nervous system,
if it comes on, she's 12 years old, right? If that's a trapped nerve, right? It could be 4 or 5 years down the line. It could come to a point where that nerve is completely damaged.
Crushed. Yeah.
Because it's trapped somewhere.
Crushed.
And she can't walk again on that leg.
That's it.
And I know that's an extreme case, but that could happen.
It could.
The possibilities of that happen is quite high, because one, she's just been given a treatment for the pain, not the actual problem. She's been left. I don't know if there's going to be any follow-ups. Hopefully there are.
Oh, she just ended up leaving with some cream for it.
So again, she's going to have to return, and it's going to be another wait, and then she's going to have to go and see a specialist, and that's going to be an even longer wait. Things are just going to exacerbate. But 4 years down the line, she's going to be in major problems, and that's the problem with the way it's run.
Yeah.
Because, like we've said, they treat a symptom, the pain, not the problem. What's causing the pain?
Yeah. Well, what could actually stop that from happening and stop the pain and stop if it is a trapped nerve is acupuncture. I've got a friend who's got a really bad back.
Not that.
And boom, acupuncture. One shot of acupuncture, and he was fine. And he's never had back pain since. They don't even recommend these.
Because I've got a prolapse disc. It's split at the top where the what I call the gel, right?
The cartilage.
Is the nucleus pulposus. It's the nucleus pulposus is what it's actually called. The center of the disc in between your vertebrae came out at the top at one break. A few years later, it came out at the bottom, and now I've got a crack along the central line. And once that goes, that's it. It's completely gone.
What would they have to fuse your spine?
Sorry?
Would they have to fuse your spine then?
Well, if it completely goes, there could be a chance that I'd be completely paralysed because of where it is. It's right on the L5S1, which is right on that 45-bit curve. So when you're sitting down, my disc will be literally
under pressure.
Where the compression happens.
Yes, it'd be under pressure.
It's continuously at. It could pop and I could be paralysed, which is quite a high chance, which I've accepted. It's going to happen one way or another. Something bad's going to happen because it's that naft. And the disc above and below, they're both going as well. But I still carry on. I do my stretches, I do my exercises. And I'm going to go for acupuncture, but I'm trying other things as well because I know acupuncture works. I'm just going to try other things.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be able to. I don't think it'll be able to reverse the damage that's been done, but it will help with a lot of the pressure.
But what it can help with like comfort with my sciatica because I continuously live with sciatica. It's always there. I don't need medication or any painkillers. Do you know what I do? I have a good diet. I regularly exercise. I have a good smoke. I take CBD. I take other natural medications. And it seems to be going all right. My Crohn's seems to be at a steady pace. I have flare-ups, little flare-ups, not something that's going to put me out, but like during the days I can get bloated at times and stuff like that. But I've got to live with that because it's part of Crohn's disease. And I expect that I'd have to have part of my bowel removed at some point as well. But, you accept these things and it doesn't bother you anymore. You just crack on with it. And that's a cycle that we're taught not to be in from a very young age, is don't think about the positives that can come of a problem.
Focus on the negatives.
Focus on that problem. Yeah. And you'll never solve the problem by focusing on the negatives because nothing's drawing you away from what the problem is. Problems. Well, you've got a debt management company coming after you. Well, the benefit of that is the positive is that one, they bought it for about 50p, right? And you ask for proof of purchase and you go down that route, and then you can go, well, you only paid that. I'll give you 50 quid. How about that? Right.
Yeah. Well, we'll do a dedicated show on that. We'll do a dedicated show on the banking system. We'll do a dedicated show on that. That's a good one. Fuck the banking system.
Have to pay. Yeah, so you don't have to pay. And I'm not promoting don't pay your debts or don't pay your bills and get a debt management system because I don't agree with that, right?
Neither do I.
Stay out of it, then stay out of it, right? But if you are in that problem, then phone up the debt management system. Don't ignore them. Phone them up and say, well, how much did you pay for it? Or first of all, say, thank you for purchasing my debt.
You
now
stupid
I don't
bastards.
any debt to anyone because there's a contract in place and you have a contract with said creditor who I was the debtor of. You have a contract with them buying that debt out. So now they don't own it. They don't have a liability of it. So that doesn't exist. There's no contract.
Yeah.
So then there's positives. There's positives you can work around that. But people focus on the negatives. Like, I've got to hide away from it. I've got these after me. Oh, I'm so scared. What are they going to do? Well, there's nothing they can do. They can't take nothing.
Well,
but they, from like we've said, from a young age, if you've got a problem at school, guess what? You're taught to hide away from it. If you're being bullied, you aren't encouraged to speak up. You're encouraged to be put away. If you've got a question about something you don't understand, you have to shy away from asking that question. Well, guess what? No question's stupid. There's only stupid answers. And
there's only stupid people that don't ask the questions.
No, because there's some people that are being suppressed and are made to look stupid if they do ask the question. So
you're more stupid for not asking the question, I should have said.
No, because that's still saying people who don't ask the questions because they're made to feel bad for asking a question, still look bad for asking that question. So what I'm saying is,
it's not a fluffy frou-frou world, mate. It's not a fluffy frou-frou world. So, so issues like this, you do have to.
So what?
You do have to address them.
Got the misconception of it. So what I'm saying is, no question is stupid. There are only stupid answers. So only stupid people will answer the question, right? Stupidly, right? There will be no person who asks a question and accepts an answer to fill their own opinion, right? That is not stupid. That's, in my eyes, that's clever, right? Because you're gathering everyone else's opinions and going, okay, I agree with that. I don't quite agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. And you can form a better opinion of what you originally had or incorporate it into your opinion and go, well, I agree on some of what you said, but this is how I've gone on a different way.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kind of, yeah.
That's how children should be encouraged.
Yeah.
As a class, they should be encouraged to do that. Not, why are you asking that question for? Oh, I know the answer to that. Well, great, you know the answer, but they didn't. But you might not know the correct answer. So don't assume you know everything because you may not. Even though you know a answer, you may not know the answer.
Yeah.
Specifically. And it could be if it's a specific question. If it's a broader question, you may not know everything about what's being asked. You may know a little bit. But Jimmy over there doesn't know what you know, but he knows something else that you don't know. So don't put him down for asking that question because you're going to ask a question that he's going to be able to answer.
Yeah. A question. I think most of the education system and most of the classes should be like question and answer sessions. There should be like a dedicated part.
Have a Q&A.
Yeah, no, a dedicated part of the lessons should be question and answer. Right, I've taught you this. I've told you this. Does anyone not understand? Let's ask me some questions.
It's not even,
stuff like that.
Even see, like with me, I'd be going on, like, say if it was English, and we was learning.
I'm going to need a second, mate. Take the mic. Take the mic. I'm going to need a second.
Yeah, no worries. If it was teaching Shakespeare, I would teach him a little bit of Shakespeare. I'd teach him a specific, say it's Hamlet. I'd teach him about the book and how it was written, why it was written, start reading a bit of the book, go into a couple of chapters, get the children involved, ask them questions if they've got any questions on how the story's so far, if they understand everything, if anything needs to be explained, because then it helps to bring a broader opening into the next part of the book or subject and elaborate on that. And by asking Q&A, it kind of even helps the teacher. I would encourage people to ask questions. Obviously, if it's been answered, it's like, well, that's been answered, but I can answer it again, but we'll go over it in a bit later. And teachers have got to find a better way, or the education system has got to accept that things have got to be taught in a different way, and we can't sit in this hands up, sitting in rows. We need more
interactivity.
Interactivity, that's the one. Interactivity and connection with the subjects and with the other students, and get everyone involved in it. So if it's like a science lesson, learning about the DNA structure, get the classroom lined up into a DNA strand, right? And say, oh, this part of the DNA does this is that. And then you can get children involved and have a little bit of music, and it will make children be more interested in the subjects and what's being taught.
Yeah.
And I know it can't be done for every subject, but certain parts of every subject you can do that. Everything can be interactive in some sort of way. It's just finding the way of doing it. And I'm not talking about using a tablet or
not that sort of interactivity
or technology.
Yeah.
I'm talking about interaction, like
engagement.
I don't mean like full-on physical. Yeah, but the engagement of pupils coming together to learn about it as one. And in that way, it doesn't matter who's got the biggest smarts and who hasn't, because guess what? You're working together. You're working as a team, and ultimately in life, guess what?
The team always wins.
You don't get through life. You don't get through life as an I. You get through as a team, as a we. An I can never succeed, but a we can.
But like I like to emphasize, there's different eyes on the team.
Yeah, there's individual talents, individuality in every team. It's just not going on the basis of just one individual talent's better than anyone else's. Well, it takes a collective of everyone's talents to move forward and be successful in what you're doing. We need to get away from drumming certain bits of information into children. And abusing them when they don't remember certain things, because even as an adult,
you didn't teach it well enough.
Too much to learn in what wasn't taught well enough. And there's too much information in such a short period that it's impossible to learn it.
Well, how much of it have you forgotten?
Know what's got to do.
That's the main question.
Exactly.
How much of it
you forget more than you remember? Forget more than you remember. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's like how you could compare it to like how TV is as well today. So TV is between 90 and 120 frames per second.
The flash rate, yes.
Our conscious brain can only see and process between 20 and 30 frames per second. The other 60 to 90 frames lay in your subconscious. So that's the reason when you go to bed after watching a scary film, you're more likely to have nightmares, because your subconscious is coming to play, and whatever was in that film,
still processing.
In those 60 frames per second, that information's in your head, as well as the information of the film. And that's why you get such weird dreams and vivid dreams from after watching a lot of films and TV and stuff like that. That's the reason why, because of the frames that you can't consciously process straight away, sitting there in your memory bank. And then what does that do? That fills up your memory bank. So you don't have space for other things.
And
like real information that's required.
and with it affecting the subconscious in a very big way, it leaves us very well open to subliminal messaging. And getting
that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
This subliminal messaging is literally your dreams. That's the subliminal messages. So if whatever you're dreaming, and everyone dreams every night, whether you remember it or not, you dream.
Mm-hmm. You got to process that. We've all got to process that.
If you do, I've noticed that I don't have as many dreams as that I used to, like the type of dreams that I used to, or have as many dreams as I used to. Now I've stopped watching TV because I don't have subliminal messaging running through my thingy. But I choose to watch sports, so it's very hard to put subliminal messaging in sports. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because it's there, it's live action.
Yeah, but when it's a program,
when it's already been
like EastEnders
processed,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very easy to put the subliminal messages in there and to affect your subconscious mind.
And with a live event like football or some sort of sports, there is no like programming. It's just showing like us now. We're showing other people. We're not subliminally messaging people. We've just got a live show that people can listen and interact. The only thing is, obviously, football. We can actually interact with football now. Sky Sports and BBC and that, they all say hashtagging or messaging and whatnot. So you can interact with them now.
Or there's the very bad side of the coin, which is the gambling side. You can now gamble and bet on how many corners are going to be done throughout the match, whilst the match is playing.
Oh, yeah, it exploits other aspects of life. I'm not
human nature.
Even with football in England, right? Children as young as 2 are being taken into football clubs.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Because if you want to be the best, you've got to start young. That's how it's progressed.
It doesn't give them an education. They don't get time to develop because they're being trained in doing specific things, and they haven't getting fully developed bodies, being able to be free, mess about. They've got to do certain things. They're not allowed to play with their friends. They're not allowed to do that. It's wrong. How can a football club tell an 8-year-old they can't play football with their kids in the park?
Yeah,
he got to sit on the sideline while all his mates are playing. No, that's not the way it is.
No,
kids are meant to get bumps and bruises. They aren't meant to be structured and regimented in a way.
Yeah, they're supposed to be free and innocent, and free to do whatever they want. What makes them feel happy?
And that's why we don't have a successful England team. There you go. Wow. Because they aren't smart enough to play together. And they aren't. You look who's playing together. There's yeah.
No, how about
when you've got 18, when you've got like 21-year-olds. I look at 21-year-olds and I'm like, wow, you're so immature. You haven't even grown up, and you expect you can vote and do stuff.
Yeah. Well, footballers, they get rewarded an awful lot for having very good hand-foot coordination. Eye-foot coordination, and being able to run around a lot.
Yeah, they're not allowed to use their hands really that much, mate.
I was gonna
goes against the rule.
That's netball, wrong game.
Yeah, or rugby.
Hi, Alice, you're back. Any marks you'd like to make about the state of the education system? We're going off topic quite a bit over here. We're going off topic over here.
It's all incorporated. Yeah. We haven't though, because with the education system, Ofsted should be involved in football clubs in regards to what they're teaching them, but they're not.
Well, education is
involved in mosques and madrasas and Catholic schools and stuff like that. Ofsted should be involved in anyone who's teaching anyone anything. Right, who's under the age of 16, or if these have gone into further education.
More people need to realise that education is the foundation of a society. What you teach your children is one of the most important things in the future of your society. So if your children aren't taught how to cook, aren't taught how to clean, aren't taught how to sow seeds and grow vegetables, what do you think is going to... They're only taught how to...
I was quite fortunate.
You know,
My mum taught me that when I was younger. I was fortunate.
They're only taught how to trade a piece of paper for something. And they're not even taught that properly either.
A useless piece of paper.
Yeah.
That in a useless society of economics and financial systems. It's rigged. It's rigged.
It's fraud.
It's all false. The economy, it is fraud. And I've tried to explain to people that the economy is false. It's a false economy. It's based upon lies, same as money. It's based upon lies and deceit.
Yep. But they can't educate people that. They can't teach people that, or else the whole system falls apart. That's what we're doing. We're here to teach you about the world and, yeah, the reality of the world. Oh.
We need to learn
aim, guys.
Common law.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think law should be taught as part of the high school education.
Common law, constitution should definitely be brought into national education. And do you know what? I'm coming up with a Pledge of Allegiance. Do you know what they do in America? The Pledge of Allegiance as a child? Well, I've come up with one. A start of one, right? And I'd love a bit of help. I would say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of Great Britain upon 4 nations united as one. I have changed it to incorporate Ireland when we helped drag them out of the EU and incorporate them into the United or Great Britain. Stuff this United Kingdom, but a kingdom united as one. 4 nations united as a kingdom as one. And if there's anything else to add as that, I think that would be brilliant. Yeah. If kids saying that at school, it brings some sort of pride into what they're doing and where they're going and why they're here.
Community, yeah.
I love the fact that America does Pledge of Allegiance.
I've also thought about changing our national anthem to God save our gracious land, long live our noble land, God save England.
That's quite good. I like that.
I know, it's better than God save the frigging reptilian queen. No, we're not getting into reptiles.
No. But we need to do something like that in society, in our children.
Yeah, we need to teach them about this great land.
I say the American Pledge of Allegiance, but I kind of mess up. I change the American flag and say the English flag.
Yeah.
When the Patriot Soapbox do theirs. When they do their Pledge of Allegiance, I just change America to England.
Yeah.
It means exactly the same thing to me because I don't want to put an oath to one person.
No.
That's not what I want to do. I want to put an oath to the land, to the people, to everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to single out one person. I don't want to be controlled by one person. And I want that to be changed.
I want us all
fundamentally, I want that to be changed. And I don't believe that it's for a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing. I want only help.
I want us all to work together.
People would back that.
I want us all to work together to make this country great. To make it better for everyone.
Great back in Britain.
Yeah. We all have to work together to do it, like we said, like a team. We can't have just individual selfish bastards running this country for themselves or just working in this country just for themselves. We need to all work together as a group, yeah. But
what are your takes on doing it at school, doing it? If the system was in the right way, Lynn, if we had you in charge of the education system, right?
Yeah.
Would you allow a Pledge of Allegiance, right? Say when I don't know if I'd go nursery age. I think you can teach that, like parents can teach their children. I think they should as well. Parents should teach their children the thing like national anthem, Pledge of Allegiance, stuff like that. They do, a lot of parents in America do. But what would you think in the education system, right, doing a Pledge of Allegiance every day, like the whole class gets up and they do a Pledge of Allegiance to Great Britain, the 4 nations as one kingdom, instead of being United Kingdom, being 4 nations in one kingdom, united as one. How do you think? How would you see that?
I think that would be absolutely fantastic. And to pledge allegiance to each other, to promote.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, to say we could, and we can incorporate the people within the land. Well, the constitution and the people.
Because we need community. We need to come back together as a people, because that's what's been taken away from us. But the idea is fantastic, because nationalism isn't a bad thing; it's a good thing.
Yeah, used in the right way, in a constructive manner, there is nothing wrong with nationalism.
That's it.
It's just the way people have used it in the past and perceived it.
No, it's the way it's been taught.
We understand, the way it's been told, and we kind of have a great understanding of a lot of things. I say we are quite enlightened, as such. We're not the enlightened ones. We've just been enlightened to a lot of things that are in the world, and
we've opened our eyes.
Can see what needs to be, what's wrong, and how to for why it's wrong, and how we can correct it. And that's a lot that doesn't happen in this world. Is what's wrong, why is it wrong, how can we correct it, and in what time period?
How do we stop happening again?
And how does it ultimately? Let's stop it happening again, because if there's anything we've learned from history, we've learned nothing.
Yeah, it keeps happening again and again and again.
History. I asked a question today. I was like, "Are you in a better position now than what your parents were at your age?" And she was like, "No, both working, both trying to pay for a house." Right. I was like, "And what about your grandparents?" And I was like, "Isn't it funny how every single generation has strived to do whatever they can to build a better life for their family? All of the family still having to do exactly the same thing as what they've done."
Yeah, and it's gotten worse.
It is worse. Yeah, you're right. But to put it in simple terms, right, so people really understand it, right? My colleague goes, "Do you know what, Glenn? That is so right. No one has achieved anything apart from a small percentage of people." And do you know what? I make people say that, and I say, "What sort of percentage do you think that is?" And they're very small. I was like, "Would you say 1%? Yeah. Would you say that 1% controls the world then? Yeah. Look who's there then. All right, follow the money. You'll see where the problems lie."
Yeah. And it's why a lot of people nowadays see money as the root of all evil. Because the evil people are the ones with all the money.
And it only leads to greed, and you don't want anything else but more, like drugs. Well, money is like a drug.
No, money's a valuable tool. It's just not being perceived that way. Or being used
but
that way.
If you haven't got the latest iPhone, or the latest Nikes, or the latest album track, or the latest Dre beats, or the latest bling, right? Or got the diamantes around your phone and big hoopy earrings and stuff, then you're not cool. You're not with the crowd. You're going to be an outcast, and you've got to have all these things. That's why you've got to have all these flash things, and you've got to be brand spanking new. So every day you've got to wear a new pair of trainers, a brand new tracksuit.
Oh, it's so cool to throw your money away. It's the coolest thing to do is throw your money away. Yeah. That's the simple fact of the culture.
Your paper.
Yeah, we get taught to throw it all away, whereas the 1% are taught to hoard it all. Can you see how the culture's been shifted?
Yeah, it's obvious,
Well, it's obvious to some.
but only to a few.
Yeah.
But only to a few, which is sad, because if we could just wake everybody up, the problem would be solved. It would be really easy to sort out.
Yep.
We just say, no, we're not playing anymore. Go away. We're doing it our way.
Yep. There's enough of us and very few of you. Nothing you can do, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like they say,
we don't have to fight. We don't have to fight. We don't have to fight. We don't have to become violent. We don't have to do any of that.
The only problem is that they've done it for such a long time, and these sorts of people are ingrained in everywhere. That's why. So I'm going to touch on a little subject here that possibly is still education, because I'm being educated through this, which is Q and Trump. So people are asking why is if it's so real, why is Hillary still walking around and Obama still walking around? Well, it's not just them he's after, or we want as a people gone. There's a vast amount of people, and they're embedded in every part of our society, like in my local council. And from the local council to the district council to the corporation who runs them all. They're so embedded that we need to get them out. You can't put them through a judicial system that's as corrupt as the people you're trying to convict.
And I've also
you've got to think of the bigger picture and where it's going to lead and what's going to happen. I was like, if this is going to end up being a global thing, do you think this is going to happen overnight? I'm quite willing for Hillary to be marching around thinking that she's free and whatnot, and thinking that she can control things, because she can't. She's out of the picture. She's out of the game.
Well, what I've seen, especially with Q, is that if we all stand up, the game crashes. We crash the game. However,
class action.
However, we don't want to crash the game, because if we crash the game, it's us, the poor, that are going to suffer. However, if we take the game off the table, all stand up and then put a new game on the table, and we all change the game, then we won't suffer as much.
We need to play the game, right, to drain them out, right, and keep them going, to make them fall into the traps. So we play the game, right, and then the game changes.
Yeah,
it's playing 4 or 5D chess,
but
very complicated. But when you look at it from all angles, you can see exactly where it's going and what's going to happen. But obviously, like anything, like with the New World Order, how they've done their implementations, they've had to change and adapt things because certain situations have changed, and they're like, oh, it's not going to work this way. We've got to change it. Communism and socialism, you never defeat it. It just retreats a little bit, and as soon as you turn your back, it's coming creeping back up on you, and it'll come creeping in. As soon as you notice again, turn around, it'll crawl back a little bit, it'll retract, and then it'll come pushing in with a bit more force. And that's why we're seeing what we're seeing now. We've had the tests over the years, and this is what they're trying to implement. They found a new way of doing it. They changed their game, upped it a little bit. And ultimately, that's what we have to do, like how we've created more accounts or going onto different platforms to communicate, like here, communicating with other people around the world. Our information, archiving it off of line and things like that.
Yeah.
Things add up together to create the people and
the storm.
And the storm. Yeah, it is. It's the storm.
Yep. Yeah.
Can
Well,
I ask you something?
yeah. Go ahead.
You know, you follow Q quite well, a lot more than I do.
Hmm.
You know this Russia thing, or no, let me start again. The Syria thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Assad has done nothing, and it's all a setup. The White Helmets are employed or part of ISIS. They get paid by Soros.
And Clinton's and Obama.
Yeah, they're not good people.
Our tax money. Our tax
2
money.
seconds, David. 2 seconds. Let me finish. Yes, our tax money too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we pay. They're a charity, aren't they? That's funny. So how come, or am I getting the wrong news? Am I looking at the wrong feeds? Is Trump believing this? Is Trump saying he's going to, go attack Syria, or is he aware that it's a false flag?
Can I take this one, Glenn? Can I take this one?
He knows. Okay, you say what you think, and then I'll say what I've been involved in and what I think.
Yeah, Trump never said who. He only said that it was a monster that did this. He didn't say who did it.
Okay,
he said it's a monster that's done this.
But yeah.
So he's not placing blame on Assad. Now, he will have the intelligence. His intelligence community will know exactly who perpetrated this, and to me it stinks of NWO, Zionists, Israel.
No. Yeah. Okay. So Israel did strike. Israel did strike the other day on Syria. Okay. And they don't know what it was. There was a stronghold of ISIS in the opposite side. Trump he doesn't believe it's Assad. I don't believe.
I hope not.
He's going after Iran and then Israel. Israel's last overall, but that's who he's going after. The narrative of Syria is in the media is quite strange, considering it was only a week ago. Well, Trump said, "I'm pulling out of Syria."
Yeah.
Well, that's why they've done it. That's why they've done it now.
Or I believe it's a false flag. It's definitely a false flag event.
Or is it a complete and utter lie? Is it Pallywood?
No, I don't think so. Well, something I listened to today said that all the people that were, most of the kids, actually, I'll try and find you the link and I'll send it to you. It was a guy that was in Syria, is in Damascus, and he did like an interview. It was about 20 minutes, and he was actually there, and he said he was utterly disgusted with the rhetoric that the BBC were giving of it, the false information they were giving out. It was his opinion that all the people that were pictured on these dramatic films that they're showing on BBC were all hostages, and they'd been used for this false flag. And it was a complete and utter setup, the whole thing. It's not saying people didn't get hurt, but it isn't as it is being reported. It's a complete and utter sham. It's a false flag. But I'll find it, and I'll try and send it to you. But I'll try and find it on my laptop. I watched it this evening. But the only thing I was concerned about was the fact that, like, Tony Blair saying, "Oh, we should back America in, bombing Syria."
Oh, because he wants America to bomb Syria. That's what he wants.
I know he does, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But he has no contact. I don't think he's got any contact or any sway with Trump or the American leadership. So he's just a freaking gas bag going blah, 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 blah.
Well, he's just giving credence to the BBC's line, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Making it all more feasible for those that are being taken in by it.
But what a person to use for it. Freaking hell. One of the biggest liars this country's ever seen.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you couldn't even been more imaginative and got. I really don't know anyone but Tony, but they could have even got what's his name, John Major.
Yeah,
right.
Wheeled him out of the freaking care
more
home.
Believable. Well, he's already called out. He called out of it, didn't he? In fact, Tony Blair a couple of months ago, and Major and Rees-Mogg had a bit of a spat, didn't they? It's quite funny. But yeah, why use Blair of all people? Like,
I know.
If anyone actually out there thinks that he's a nice bloke, then
euthanasia.
I go back to sleep very quickly, and when you wake up, rethink the situation. The man's a traitor. He's a
warmonger.
He's a terrorist. He's a terrorist.
He's very thick-skinned, isn't he? Terrorist. He actually doesn't care that we hate his guts. He actually he ignores that and carries on regardless. The man's a monster, but he just persists in his own personal mission, as if, and he pretends that some people actually like him.
Well,
I don't even think anybody in Labour likes him.
He has sold his soul. He has no soul no more.
He has.
And we know about that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No going back, I don't think.
Oh, no, there's no going back. He's already let the demons in. He's already let the demons in.
As Q says, bring back the gallows.
Did he actually say that?
Yeah.
Q said that. This is the post.
Because
it's a repost.
America.
It's a repost of Anon's, and what he says. And Anon posted a picture of all of these military personnel saying, "I don't want to go to war in Syria. Don't do anything in Syria." He said, "Why did Hussein protect ISIS? Protest ISIS, focus and destroy 1 year versus Hussein 8 years.
Funding, aiding, abetting.
2 seconds. Versus GWB, DC access, sold out, bring back the gallows." And it says, "No more." After the picture of the personnel, it says, "No more Q." So, America, no more Q, says, "I don't want to fight in Syria. Don't bomb Syria. I didn't join the Navy to fight for Al Qaeda in the Syrian civil war. It's not our place. We don't need to be in Syria, right? It's a civil war, right? We can help the government, but we should not have our troops.
We should not be helped.
This is why problems are caused, because other countries and other places and entities get involved in something they should have no place involved in. Like Soros should have no place in our politics. Nope. It's got nothing to do with England. He's not English. Nothing to do with him. Should have nothing. None of his society, none of his money. Should have nothing to do with England or Great Britain.
But this is the world we live in.
Syria and Iran are two of the last countries to not have Rothschild's banking in them.
And Russia.
Yeah, apart from Russia, but they're barred from Russia. They're not allowed ever back in Russia.
Yeah, Russia did though, didn't they? Russia sort of threw them out. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why they're trying to start a war with Russia so they can get back in.
Guess who the other one was?
North Korea?
There were 3 remaining before Russia. North Korea, yeah. I wonder if they're actually going to have them now, or whether...
Well,
because Trump...
They did have a central bank, and it was run by the Rothschilds, but just not under their full umbrella.
Was it?
Yeah, there was a CIA country, really.
Okay.
It was
CIA controlled.
That was, but well, when they join up, they're going into talks now with South Korea to become a united nation again as one, and denuclearize it. They may stay as North Korea, South Korea, and other a little bit, but they'll be civil. There'll be no unrest. People will be able to free move and everything like that.
Like Northern Southern Ireland.
I was just about to say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. Exactly like that.
Same wavelength, mate. Same wavelength.
Exactly, mate.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
It's the hive mind.
It's the hive mind.
But it's true. That's what I see it as going to be. And it's going to be a good thing.
Mm.
It's a great thing. It's exponentially.
Yeah, it is.
Oh my God. You've got North Korea talking with South Korea. Not only is North Korea speaking with South Korea, they're actually talking with China, right? They're talking about denuclearizing people. Everyone out there. Do you know how big it is for North Korea to announce that they could potentially, even the potential,
But
right? It was never on the cards before. Never, the potential of denuclearization was never in the thoughts of anyone's mind about North Korea. But now they're open to it. If they're open to it, that means that they're going to do it.
the last question of North Korea is who's going to reindustrialize it? Who's going to put the infrastructure in place? Who's going to control that side of it?
It'll be like I said.
That's the next question.
Efforts of yeah, but it'll be South Korea and North Korea working together as one.
Hopefully,
really, to do that sort of thing.
Hopefully,
yeah. Well, that's what the whole piece, like the whole denuclearization, the joining of armies and stuff like that. It's all going to come together. It's not going to be an overnight process.
No, it's not.
This thing's going to take probably a decade to do through the right way. And it's same with the process that we're going through.
But listen to this.
To be honest, the process that we're going through, if this whole thing with what Q and Trump bring down deep state, right, if that process or whatever process we go down, there's going to be some sort of civil unrest, right? We just have to make it minimal to what it is. So joining as patriots, getting the information out there. That's what we're doing. Us as people now. We're minimalising the devastation that's going to come, because ultimately, as time progresses and we push back upon the deep state, they're going to push hard. So there's going to be some sort of unrest, right? But we can minimalise that. We can minimalise a lot.
Oh, got a echo.
It's all right. My cable's just hacked. Sorry, guys. My cable's just.
It's all right.
Hello?
Now let me just come back in.
So, yeah.
Let me just come back in.
Yeah, go for it.
Bring us back to the Middle East, because the wars there are there to ignite the war there and destabilize the section there. But it's also who builds and rebuilds their infrastructure, who gets to control the country through that method. That's what they're trying to do, especially they've done it in Iran, in Iraq. It's what they're going to do in Iran, and it's what they're going to do in Syria. Is try to control.
They can try, but they're not going to succeed. Well,
that's what the plan was. Trump's come and intervened, but the plan was to demolish that area so they could move in and they could rebuild it in what they want it to be, and take the money.
Now I believe we should do it. I believe
leave them to it.
To rebuild.
Leave them to it. There you go. Fucking do it yourselves.
What I mean, like,
here you go. Have some people from our country. You know which people I'm on about. Have some people from our country. We'll send them over, and they can rebuild your country. How's about
that? Yeah. That's very nice, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Helpful of us.
Very helpful.
Sharing.
Sharing to caring, you know what I mean? Sharing caring. We're going to share some of our problems with you.
Yeah, two birds, one stone. Two birds, one stone. Boom, boom.
You get to build it in your country, and we get to solve a problem.
Yeah. Simples. And what 400 of them already went there. You know, 400.
Just a little disclaimer. This channel does not advocate violence in any way. We don't advocate in any vigilantism or anything like that.
Everything we're trying to do
is to inform people. This is a information, like an entertainment information archiving channel where you can get your information, but we encourage you to go and inform yourself. Go and research what we talk about, and come back and interact with us and share the information that you've found. Because we don't know everything. We don't know every little detail. We're only a small collection of people that is out there. There's a bigger platform, bigger amount of people out there.
Glenn, I'd like to
we
say,
want you to be doing what we're doing.
I'd like to say that we are trying to win this war with words. That's what we're trying to do, and to defeat our enemies by highlighting who they are, what they're doing, and bringing them to justice. We do not advocate violence.
The pen is mightier than the sword, but a pen can turn to a sword if needs be.
Yeah. And we can write with blood. I like that bit.
We're gonna win.
Oh,
we're gonna win big.
We don't have any other choice. We either win or we die.
You're right. We don't.
You know, and if our opponents are pushing us into that corner, then they're going to have to expect what's going to have to come at them, and we will.
This is something that I've said to my family. I'm like, I love you this much, right? That I'm telling you this information to save your life. Because if you don't, you're not going to be around to experience the greatness to come. And that's where I want to be part of that. And if I die in the process, I know that my soul or my consciousness still live on, and I won't be reincarnated. I will just enter another vessel to relive another life.
Who knows?
I know that's going to happen. Because consciousness never disappears; it's always there. It's just a vessel that dies.
Energy is energy, and is a soul or a consciousness energy?
Exactly.
That's the question.
So you're going to be back again, just not as the personality that you are now, or you might be a personality. You're just not going to remember anything, or you may have a glitch in the matrix, like there has been a case what I've explained before about a 2-year-old in. Who's
already well educated? Already well educated,
He started speaking about living in this specific house, described this whole place, and it was correct. Everything, he'd never been there before or anything like that, never seen this place before, but he could explain everything, where he used to play, the people that lived there, everything. So there are glitches that sometimes a memory will still remain of some sort.
Well,
it just depends on the type of person you are. So if you're the sheeple, and I mean more of the materialistic, self-obsessed people that are greedy and selfish, you're not really going to live another life that's going to be any better. Possibly do good things, and good things will come.
Well, you can see older souls. I know it's a weird one, but
no, you're right. Everyone calls me an old soul.
Yeah, you're wise beyond your age. You're wise beyond your years. Why do you think that is? Maybe because your soul's or your consciousness has been around the block a couple of times.
Yeah, you've learnt a few things. Just because you don't know all the details, it doesn't mean it's never been there. Look at what we're uncovering. The stuff we're unearthing. We're digging up information that's always been there. We've just never been led to that information. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, we're taught so little about the spiritual plane, about proper spirituality.
I'm trying to put our spirituality into what we're actually doing now. I know it's still kind of spiritual, but we're unearthing information that's ultimately being directed to us. And we're unearthing this information and finding these things out. It's always been there. We've just never looked for it. And that's the difference. We don't look for what we need. We're given and accept.
Yeah. Back onto education.
What we was talking about. And,
Yeah.
and to be fair, I think education is in everything because it's indoctrination. It's not an education. It's indoctrination. They force you to remember things, force you to do things, even things that you may not want to do or like to do or are able to do. And as soon as you're in one of those, or in one of those structures of life, then you're labelled. But I don't know. I think we need to come away from this label business as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this, I don't know.
Classing people and point scoring people and stuff like that. Because it's wrong. Like, I've even said that even on a work level, do you know how they like literally monitor everything that you do? Now I understand that.
Make sure you're a nice productive slave.
Yeah, I understand that you've got to be productive. You're at work for a reason. But if like for me, like my figures are quite high. Generally on an average day, my figures are quite high because I'm quite good at what I do, right? Someone else might not be as good as me, might not do as much work in that same area, but he may be better than me in another area, but he's being slandered and like being told he needs to do better to catch up with me. And I don't think it should be a competition at work. I know that it's competitive is healthy, but when it becomes kind of discriminative, it's not. When you're continuously compared in just one area of your life with someone else who's better than you in that area, it's not good. And I even speak up. I'm like, I'll be the first person to say that I'm not good at this because I'm not. Like, I don't know. I'm not good at brain surgery. I know nothing about brain surgery. So guess what? I stay my hands away from it.
Yeah, and we don't go comparing you to a brain surgeon.
Exactly.
At brain surgery.
I don't even compare myself. The only thing I compare myself to a brain surgeon is he's got a lot more debt than me, all right, but he earns a lot more money. He's got a lot more stress than me. He's also in holding people's lives in his hands, which is the ultimate responsibility.
Yeah. But I think
I don't mind having that. I don't mind having that.
I do think that a measure is IQ.
Sorry?
A measure of of people is IQ.
Yeah, of course.
Because someone with a higher IQ can. I don't know. No, it's weird.
So he might be able to do brain surgery, right?
But he might have a lower IQ than you.
A shelf on the wall. No. But he might not be able to put a shelf on the wall. Guess what? He needs someone to put that shelf on the wall. I'm that guy.
Yeah, and on the wall. Yeah, and that's where some form of collectivism works and works well. Each has their own strengths, each has their own weaknesses, and we work around them.
Yeah, but we have to do that after 16 years of our life.
Yeah.
Sometimes 18. Well, now 18. Sometimes 20. Sometimes 21. Right? Because we're advised as children to go into this area because we're good at this. I was advised to go and join the public service, like fire or something like that. turned out I was a pretty dab-hand chef. He took me around the world. But actually, great with people, great at, like, putting information out there. So
Yeah,
it was never taught or explained to me as a child that I should be working on my strengths and not my weaknesses. But we're told to work on our weaknesses to even the playing field of our abilities. Well, no. That's not how things should be.
Well, there's enough jobs and enough roles out there that we can all work to our strengths.
That's another thing. We need to minimise the roles, right? Because in my work, there's 3 teams, 3 team leaders, a floor manager, a centre manager, then an operations manager, then this sort of man and that sort of man.
Middle managers.
Like, what are you all doing? What are you all doing? Because all I see is just titles thrown up in the air everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of them don't work to the titles as such. They don't say, "Oh, yeah, I'm above you," blah blah blah. But it opens the door to that. Does that make sense? It opens the door to people going, "I'm above you" and stuff like that. When really, I could do the same thing you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And you've already done the same thing that I've done, right? Because you just learned another area. You've learned no real, like, life-changing skills. You've just learned a new area of that job. You've just progressed. I can do that. It doesn't mean that you're better than me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does. You know, it's progression for progression's sake.
Yeah, and I think things should be done on merit as well. More.
Yeah.
Then,
well,
and,
you know, in bars, when I used to work in bars, you know, they'd hire a new bar manager instead of promoting someone who's been at the job and does the job and is bloody good at it. They go out and they hire someone new who's actually not as good at it as the other person would have been.
Again, in my last job, they employed a floor manager or centre manager, and he was useless. He knew nothing. I was doing his job, literally doing his job. I was teaching him it, and when he was doing things wrong, he was coming to me. I was like, I went up to my MD once, and I said to him, I was like, "Listen, Paul," I was like, "Why don't you just let me have that job? I'm not going to want as much money as him, so I'm going to save you a buck or two, right? I don't want 60 grand to run this office because I don't need 60 grand to run this office. I'm pretty much doing it on the wage that I'm on now." I was like, "We can sort out a different wage." And he goes, "Glenn, if it's up to me, I probably would."
Yeah.
Because there's a number of people that are on your team that I would have running this floor, that have the capabilities and the merit to do it. He goes, "But there's others in the other play in the boards that don't want it. They want an exterior." I was like, "It's ridiculous," because we know the people, we know the system, we know what goes on. You haven't got to teach us anything, apart from the darts that you want us extra to. But we do most of it, and you know, I said, you know, that I'm willing to put in just as much work as what the others are doing, plus a little bit more. If I have to stay later to do something, then I'll stay later to do something. If I have to do, I don't know, put through an application, do an application with a client, then I'll do that application with a client. Just because I'm running the centre, it doesn't mean that I'm above everyone. It just means that I've got more responsibility, but I've also been given, I should take it as an honour as well.
Yeah.
Because I've been promoted to it. But when someone's brought in, they see themselves above people. It in-house promotion promotes honour. I see in certain people. I'm not saying in everyone, but definitely I would say most cases, people would see it as an honour to be promoted to a manager when you're just a line personnel as such.
Yeah.
And that's how I see it. I see it like if I'm going to put it to the members of parliament.
Mm.
They don't see it as an honour. And it should be.
Yeah.
They should be going, this is an honour to be. I'm humbled that the people believe in me. I'm humbled that me and the people can communicate and be as one to sort this nation out.
Yeah, honoured to serve.
We've never had that. Yeah. Well, guess what? America's got it now, but people slandering him. It's unbelievable. He's done everything he said he was going to do. I know this whole putting Hillary in prison. I know he promised to do that, and
he didn't promise to do that. He didn't promise to do that.
No, he didn't. He just said his words. She said, "Don't vote for me because if he gets in charge, I'll be in prison." And he goes, "Yes, you will."
Yeah. Oh, no, it was something on the stage when she said, "Oh, it'd be awful if you were in charge," and he said, "Yeah, it'd be awful for you because you'd be in prison," something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Paraphrasing, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And
that's the only thing he's got to really put up. He's done the industries. He's done the economy.
Back to education. Back to the education, and back into roles in work.
And he's trained in that as well.
Yeah. Well, back into that. Because this person that came in as the new manager was probably somebody who had a degree and had been through the education system. So because he had a degree, he's not going to or willing to come in at the ground level where you are. He's only willing to come in at the management level because he's got a degree, and he somehow thinks he's better than you.
And that's the other thing that happens as well when. In certain companies or certain places, they'll employ only university leavers.
Yep, graduates.
Right? Postgraduates or graduates, right? And they have no experience in that. No experience apart from what they've been on their little courses for, or depending what it is. They may have to do outside employment. Well, as part of their course.
Yeah. Or someone with a frigging arts degree coming in and trying to run your office.
Yeah, but if someone say there's an apprentice architect, right? They would employ, right, another a graduate or postgraduate, right, to fill a position, then promote someone else.
I don't know why that is.
And that's how it's rigged. The system's rigged. Everything's rigged. It gives no chance for, like me, I'd love to be an architect, right? I love drawing, love designing. But I can't do it because I haven't got a degree.
Well...
But if I had an apprenticeship, something like that, I could end up doing it.
Yeah, but instead of spending 4 years at university learning it, if you spent 4 years actually on the course, actually out there in the workplace doing it, you'd be a darn sight better at it, because you'd be able to see the pitfalls and the traps and the things that you've experienced. Rather than being...
I've done that exact same thing. Yeah. That thing, like doing it on the job, I've done it with my plumbing and heating engineering. I was fitting central heating systems, and I was going to college of an evening to do my course, so I could become qualified. Just for the paperwork. That's all it was. Just going 2 nights a week for the paperwork. but I wasn't actually really doing anything for the coursework as such. I was helping other people as like a tutor, helping a tutor, right, teach the class certain things. Obviously, I was still learning, but I was able to teach other, like.
Yeah, I used to do that at school all the time.
Tutor needed to concentrate on steel. I would help out on the copper and lead and that sort of area, and the booths where you had to do certain setups and stuff like that. And he passed me. He passed me on my plumbing. He passed it flying. He goes, yeah. And I done the exam, and he was like, yeah, you've aced it then.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about it. The coursework all signed off. And it wasn't that we were rigging it, right? But I was doing it with people whilst teaching them it. Does that make sense?
You learn more when you're teaching as well, because it drills
exactly.
it drills it into your mind more. Because if you've got to reiterate it and think about it and to teach it to someone else, then you're learning it more in depth, and it stays with you more.
Exactly.
Mm.
And he said, he goes, if I had a student like that in every single class, he goes, it'd just make things a lot easier.
Mm.
And he goes, you do well at plumbing. I was good at plumbing, heating engineering.
Mm.
It's getting that my back went.
Yeah.
Because of that very job.
Yeah.
I'll say because of that job. It was because of my employer. And that's another thing. The employer's not looking after, and it kind of goes to like school teachers as well. Not looking after the employees or the students. Students are not looked after by said headmasters. What does a headmaster actually do nowadays?
Sit in their office and
I don't know what they do.
Sit in their office and tell you off when you've been really bad. That's all my headmaster did, I think.
But what does he know what you've done bad?
I don't.
The only thing that he knows is that you've been sent to the office. Why have you been here? Because
that was the first question. First question they'd always ask: why have you been sent here? They never knew. Yeah.
Exactly. There's no communication between the two people that are disciplining you.
Yep.
Hang on, I don't want to be disciplined at school, right? Because I get enough discipline at home. What I want from you at school and from you teachers is to educate or help to educate me.
But discipline is a big part of education. We need to educate people to be disciplined, if you understand that. Because discipline, self-confidence, morality, discipline, self-confidence, morality, being able to see things through other people's eyes is a huge part of education, is life education, which,
Well, how do you know what, before you, how do you know what do you call it is? I've got it now. It's gone. Come from my head.
Must have been a lie.
Yeah, that's it. No. How do you know what discipline is if you don't know the definition?
Self-control.
If you don't know you've got to learn know what discipline is before you can be disciplined.
Yeah.
Can I come in here, guys?
Yeah, please do.
Go for it, Alice.
That's going back to what we were talking about when we started. If the children are taught, if they're brought up in a loving home, that's what should be taught before they go to school. Show me the boy when he's 5 and I will give you the man. After the 5, what they don't know isn't, forget it. Absolutely forget it. Because we all know right from wrong. If a child is not capable of compassion, knowing right from wrong, being good, working as a team, consideration for others, sharing, by the time they're 5, then there's not an awful lot you can do about it, because what you get when they're 5 is the adult. You can't change anything. The mindset is established by the time they're 5. and it's a very true saying.
Yeah.
You are
So
so
parents
right.
are so important. So all discipline should be taught at home before they go to school, and by the time they get to school, they should know how to behave. It's not up to the teachers to teach them how to behave. They should know how to behave.
Well said.
Through learning at home.
Yeah.
I agree. A bad child starts with bad
So-
parenting.
Same with
Yeah. But they've not been taught themselves.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. It's been a vicious cycle for a very long time. Now, there are, I'm not saying everyone's like that,
Oh yeah.
but the
Obviously.
vast amount of people out there of that, they're bad parents in one way or another, right? Because I look at
It's
it,
not their fault.
if you're giving, yeah, but I think when you get to a certain age, that you've got to take some self-responsibility. So if you're 25 and you don't know, like, and you've got a child and you're feeding them processed foods and bad foods, right? I kind of see that as child abuse, and I don't see ignorance as an excuse.
But what if it's on the television? They turn the television on and it shows them pizzas and McDonald's. That's all they know.
Yeah. You know, it's bad education from 20, 30, 40 years ago that's really rearing its head now. Is the poor education system that's been...
Can you make that same excuse for every single person at every single age? Because there's parents out there that have for their first children at the age of 30, 35, 40, and they do exactly the same thing. They really do. And I know it starts with education, but people have got to start taking self-responsibility, because if they don't, it's not going to work. People have got to start putting their head above the sand. Yeah,
I understand that, but I'm looking at it from everybody's, or trying to look at it from everybody's perspective. I agree with you. I mean, that's why I was turned off. I've just made spaghetti bolognese and a lasagna for tomorrow out of 500 grams of mince for two of us, right? And it's so cheap to do. Making food, real food, and I've just used spices and herbs. I'm all from scratch, everything.
Yep.
Just while I've been listening to you for the last hour. And it's so bloody cheap.
Yep.
It's so cheap.
And what? An hour's worth of effort.
There's no reason, but
you know, an hour's worth of effort.
I've got two nice meals. I've eaten one, but
yeah.
And if you've got children and you're doing that kind of cooking, guess what?
Get them in the kitchen.
Get them involved.
Yeah, get them in the kitchen with you. That's how I was learned. That's how I was brought up.
Get them to layer up the lasagna. Get them to mix up the mixture before it's hot. Get them to do the salad. You've got like these knives now that you can't cut yourself, but they'll cut through vegetables and stuff like that. Get the kid cutting up some vegetables at like a young age.
Well, again, they need to use a proper knife.
Yeah, they need to learn to use it. They need to learn self-control.
These knives are like actual knives, but they're like a plastic, right? And they'll cut through it, but they're safety for like people to use, like older generation who have like jittery hands, or young people
like me.
Use. But yeah, they've got them out there that kids can use. They're like safety, like, do you know the safety scissors? They're like those, but the safety knives.
But one of the first things you learn as a chef.
You can keep that, and not only that, it teaches them life skills.
Yeah, but one of the first things you learn as a chef is how to cook, and how to cook with down the back of your fingers.
Your knuckles.
Yeah.
On your knuckles.
Yeah.
Your first knuckles. Tuck your
fingers in.
Nails in.
Boom, 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 boom.
Guide it.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to do that.
What's the worst that happens?
Have a boo-boo. Cut your finger.
You're going to learn. Right?
You're going to learn not to do it again.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Cotton wool kidding. Yeah.
It's a nanny state. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't drink raw milk straight from the cow. You can't do this. You can't do that.
You can't go and play outside on a scrapyard. You can't go play outside.
Drinking pasteurised drinking pasteurised milk is worse than drinking unpasteurised.
I know. I
How
buy butter
barbaric is
that's
that?
made from unpasteurised milk. If I could buy unpasteurised milk, I would.
And we all
Pasteurising it removes any nourishment that's in it anyway.
and we all think that milk's white.
No.
I know it's
when
not.
I was younger, and she's got a friend on a farm. It's not like a real big commercial farm because she lives in Wales. And he's like the local, I say local farmer, he does quite a bit of farming. But I helped him with the cows, and after it had all been pumped, it was still unpasteurised. It hadn't been pasteurised, but it was a bit cleaner. It had been through the filter process, but it hadn't been pasteurised. And I drank some. It was lovely. Now I know about it and I understand more about what milk is, and which I should have known then. It's for baby
cows.
Calves.
Yes, baby mumus.
If anything, us as humans should be drinking breast milk.
Yeah, but you can't exactly hook women up to the breast milk pump and milk them on a industrial level. It's not a good idea.
Hey, listen, it's not that easy, guys. Listen, your boobs go enormous, and you'd have to live your whole life with huge jugs.
Oh, and the sensitivity on the nipples. And the sensitivity on the nipples would be great.
This is why I say
no.
I want a football team of children, of kids.
Well, I'd like more of like a scouting club. You know, like the Scouts, or like the Scouts used to be when I was there. You know, proper teaching them how to tie knots and teaching them how to, butcher and teaching them how to skin an animal and teaching them proper little things like that are, manly little things. Like, proper little manly things. So
my boys can skin a rabbit, gut a rabbit, cook a rabbit, make Yorkshire pudding, put the washing in. But the youngest one's only 16. He won't starve. He can make meals. He can do anything.
Yeah.
Well, I taught my brother, right, because he never knew how to make cakes. He never even tried. I taught my brother at the same time as I taught. He's 7 years older than me, by the way.
Yep.
At the same time, I taught my nephew, his son, right, at the age of 8. Right.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I was like, first of all, he should have been learning this at a younger age, right? Both of them, right? Secondly, how is someone who's got a smartphone, right, and access to the internet, not gone, how do you make a Victoria sponge? Or how do you make
Victoria sponge or fairy cakes?
Yeah. Oh, wait there. I'm going to get 4 eggs. I'm going to weigh them up, right? And then I'm going to put the same amount of butter, same amount of caster sugar, and the same amount of flour in. I'm going to mix it all together, and it's all going to come into a little fluffy mix.
Yeah, the double.
And then I'm going to preheat my oven, grease my pan. I'm going to put my mixture in my pan. I'm going to put it in the oven about 180, 160, depends on the size of your pan. I'm going to cook it on the middle shelf until it rises.
And the smell gorgeous.
And then what you do is you put a knife in, and if it comes out clean, it's cooked. If it comes out
cooked,
then anything on it, well, you can kind of gauge. If it's only a tiny bit, it only needs another 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
If there's a lot, you kind of done it a bit too early.
Yeah, you're a bit too hungry.
and if it's black, you've left it in there too long.
Start again.
Start the process again. Don't leave it in for too long. But it's so easy, and and that's not even a recipe. Like, that's probably the easiest thing is weighing up your eggs. And once you've got the weight of your eggs, you can weigh out the rest of your ingredients to exact the same weight.
Yep.
And there's your mixture. That's a basic sponge. It's as easy as that, and you can jazz it up. You can put a bit of vanilla essence. I choose vanilla pod because I don't like essence.
Yep.
I use real vanilla bean. Or you can put a few.
You can
Currants
put lemon.
and
You can put lemon zest through it.
sultanas,
Oh, yeah.
lemon zest,
Yeah.
some sesame seeds.
Just
You
press
can
it in
do
hard, put
whatever you want.
raspberry jam and cream on it,
Mm.
icing
You can-
sugar on the top.
It's
Yummy.
easy. And if you want to make butter icing, just use icing sugar and butter.
Yeah.
Mix it up, spread it on. There's your
Lovely.
butter icing.
Yeah.
Really easy. Real fun to do as well with butter icing.
Yeah, it's something
Yeah,
that
and then
even
you
a freaking 5-year-old can learn to do as well.
A 5-year-old could do it.
Yeah.
It's so easy. And then guess what? You can then put a few sprinkles on it. And then put, do you know that little cherry they sell and put on the top of the cake?
The glacé cherry.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and
That
You
as
put it
well.
on top of it, and then you sprinkle just a little bit of icing sugar out of your little
Icing sugar.
out of your tin. You sprinkle it over, just a little slight dusting, and then you present.
yeah,
Lovely jubbly. That and the gratification of you putting your hard effort, or your child putting that hard effort in, going, do you know what? We made that with our bare hands.
yep.
It's something better than going, I bought this from Morrison's,
And it's
from
part
Tesco's.
and it's part of
It's
the
in a
culture.
package.
It's part of the culture, isn't it?
Yes. And it's being lost.
Yeah, yeah. Because we're more of the culture of go to the shop and buy it, rather than put some effort in and make it.
And do you know what the worst thing is? Even if some people do buy fresh, they'll buy pre-sliced. So if they're buying mushrooms, they'll buy pre-sliced mushrooms. If they're buying peppers, they'll
No.
pre-pepper.
No.
What are you doing? It takes 2 seconds to cut up a mushroom or a bunch of mushrooms. It takes 30 seconds to cut up a pepper. You all know a quick, easy way of de-seeding a pepper? Cut around the top part of the
Pull it out.
pepper, pull it out, cut it in half, cut the whites out. If you really want to cut the whites out, I quite like it.
I like the
It's
whites.
a bit of extra flavour in.
Mm.
I leave mine in.
Yeah, it really don't bother me. I even need
What?
the odd strands of seeds in there
Mm.
as well. That really don't bother me. It's just another bit of nutrition I'm getting inside, and it's got a bit of vitamin B12 in there and a bit of iron. So happy days. Yeah, but people get rid of all the things that, and the scraps. I just literally chuck it in my grass outside now because I'm redoing my garden, turn it into just a big veg garden.
Mm. Yeah.
So it's going to be one big compost heap.
You need a pig to turn it over.
Yeah. Gotta be
If
it.
you get a pig, and they'll turn it all over for you.
Mm.
Pardon?
Even just a micro pig.
Human type of pig. Where can I get a pig from?
Yeah.
I'd love a pig as well.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be well cool to have a pet pig.
Yeah. Little piggy.
And there'd be no way I'd be getting it killed. No one. And do you know what? I live in an area where there's Muslims, and I know they won't kill it.
Oh, they won't go near it, will they? You can take it for a walk.
Take it for a walk.
Yeah, take it for a walk.
I'll take it for a walk.
Yeah, damn right.
You're
There's
not
nothing.
allowed.
No, there's nothing they can do. It's
Shut
part
up,
of the
you're not allowed.
Constitution.
Of course you are.
Part of our Constitution.
Yeah,
No,
part of the Constitution.
I know
Yeah.
it is. But if you, according to DEFRA, which is a load of bollocks, when we had to take our pigs to the, have you heard of Acton Scott Museum, which is like an old working farm? It was on the television, you know, the Victorian farm thing.
Okay, no, I've not heard of it.
It was it was years ago because I've not watched TV for so long.
Mm.
It was called the Victorian Farm, and it was at Acton Scott, and it's like the farm, as in the Victorian days. It's just down the road, and they had an open day, and they didn't have any pigs, so they asked me to take some pigs down. So I couldn't get the female to load in the trailer with her piglets, so I took the dad instead, who was called Ashley, and the babies. And he just lay down all day, and I just jumped all over the top of him, and it all went really well. But you have to send off and apply for a movement license to be able to move them for the day. And then when you bring them back, you can take them, but then when you bring them back, you have to go on a standstill for a month. So nothing can come on or off your property for a month.
Even if you've got one pig that's a pet, an actual pet, not like a farm, but you're not going to
Yeah.
It's never going to be killed. It's literally going to be like a dog, like a normal pet. Like you take your dog for a walk, right? If I had a pig in that manner, I'd have to get a wow.
No, I also
you'd have to check up.
I can't even have points.
Glenn, I also see.
You'd have to check up because I don't know. I'm just telling you how it is
Glenn,
for farmers.
I would.
Go on.
I'd see them using the Section 5 public order offence because you walking a pig is offending Muslims. It's offensive to them. They would.
This is my brother.
Yeah. No, they'd use that on you. They'd arrest you for it.
It's my brother.
That's my brother, man. You can't. It's a member of my family.
No, it's my blood, man.
In it.
But,
do you know, if you're going to have a pet, a pig is the nicest animal to have. They're so intelligent. You can teach them to sit and all sorts. They're far more intelligent than a dog.
Yeah, I know that. They've got the intelligence of a 6-year-old or a 3-year-old.
They're lovely. But don't get a large white that goes to you. You'll be about 6 foot tall, about 6 foot long and 4 foot tall if you get a large white.
I've seen a video of this woman who like hand raised a piglet, and it literally loved her. Like it would come up, it would sit in a certain way on her lap. It was like and I've always loved pigs. Actually, do you know what? I've always loved all animals, and if I could have a lion, I know it's not fair to cage him up. I wouldn't want to cage him up. I'd like a big sort of safari thing. But if I had that capability of looking after animals properly, I would. I'd love to have like a whole. How they depicted Noah.
Well, part of my dream is to have a farm. Part of my dream is to have a farm. Definitely a little small holding working farm.
My farm wouldn't be for anything for slaughter.
Your petting zoo. You'd have a petting zoo rather than a farm.
Mine would be, yeah. Mine would be like a petting zoo on the side of like an agricultural farm. From me and whatever's left, I'd give to the community. In all honesty, whatever I didn't need. Say if I had more peppers than I needed, I'd just give them away or sell them at a cheap price.
No, well, if you had your farm...
It's like a bulk load. It's a bulk load of... Yeah, I'd sell it. I'd sell it at a cheap price.
Or you'd feed it to your animals. Or you can get the community... You can get the community to put their, vegetable waste into a bucket for you. You go around and collect, and they'll happily feed your animals. You know what I'm saying? Get the community involved. Because how much food wastage is there?
I was just about to say, and it stops the food wastage.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd say is no bones.
I might get a pig. We could have I'll get a pig as a mascot for us. How's about that then?
Yeah. Could you get some bees? One was called George. Could you get some bees?
Sorry?
Could you get some bees? Like a beehive? Yeah. Because that'd be great for the hive mind.
I want a hive, actually.
Yeah, that'd be great for the hive mind.
I want a hive.
Yeah. Well, they've got these special ones that have got like a key, and because they've got all the hexagons already built inside,
the honey,
and it just shifts them, and then all the honey comes down. They look cool.
Put one in the orchard, couldn't have? That'd be nice, honey.
An orchard, orchard bees are the best. That'd make the best honey.
You have to ask Monsanto's for their
aluminium resistant
DNA structured bee.
Yeah, but then we won't eat the honey.
They'll just die off.
No, then we won't eat the honey. We don't want GMO honey.
That's not even funny either.
I know it's not.
They would actually get Alzheimer's and die. So this was happening to our bees. So sad. And that was another thing that I touched on with
Glenn. We're going to stop it this year. We're going to stop it this year, so it doesn't matter. We're going to stop it. We have to.
I know, but they've still died already, haven't they?
Yeah. But once we get rid of it, yesterday I saw my first bee of the year. So my first big fat chubby bumblebee buzzing around. I was like, "Yay, go a little bee!"
One today.
Like, go a little bee.
It's so good to see.
Yeah.
but the poor thing doesn't have enough plant life to bloody go around. There's nothing. Not even our daffodils are really thriving. Dandelion, I've had 2 pop up in my garden. No, I've seen none when I've been walking around. It's been too wet, too dark. The plant life's got nothing to. It can't grow. It's got no light, no heat, anything. It's just dying, literally. And any light that does come is then saturated with water and like 48 hours of darkness. And then it's like, oh, I'll give up now. Can't grow. And then all the other seedlings that are growing, they die off because they don't get the growth that they need. The ground's too wet.
Well, it's saturated with acids. It's far too acidic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
it should be blossoming right now out there. Everything should be blooming. There's trees, right, that haven't even got a bud, one bud on it.
What time are
one bud?
Aren't daffodils supposed to be around?
Yeah, they're not. That's what I'm saying.
We've got loads. We have got loads here.
So it's
We've
not
got all down the road, all around the hedgerows. There's like people put clumps of them out. There's loads of daffodils here.
That's all right.
My trees, my orchard, they've all got buds on, but nothing more. And the hedges have just come out the hawthorn hedges have just started to come out in green.
So
the grass is growing.
I don't think we're past the point of no return yet, but maybe 5 years, and then it will be just death.
We need to educate the stupid people in Parliament so that they vote against it. But the thing is, it's irrelevant what they think anyway, because they're just panting.
Yeah,
right?
they're just pantomime. We know that.
They don't actually do anything.
And even if they do say something, they don't do it. They don't follow through on their action.
No, it's ignored.
Yeah,
No, because they can't. Everything's out of their hands. We vote for them, and they have no say, no power. What do they do? What are they for?
Steal air.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, and to pacify. They are there to pacify the population into thinking that we're actually voting for something and we're not. We're just dictated to.
They're just really good
actors.
Yeah, like if there was a little lower level, they'd probably be in Hollywood.
Probably. They're all, not all, most of them are really thick and stupid. And the reason they're really thick and stupid with probably very low IQs is because they need to be that thick and stupid that they don't actually realise that what they're doing is an absolute farce. If they actually knew. Go on.
Do you know, there is actually an actress that is a member of Parliament.
Is there?
Sums it all up, that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a woman. She was in Downton Abbey.
Was she Coronation Street or
Coronation Street, yeah. So she's literally a leftist actress, right? That's now an MP. And we're just saying about them being actors, and they are.
They are.
Sorry. It came into my head. Yeah. I just see her face, and I was like, she's an actress. And she always wears red.
I don't know what her name is. But I mean, right,
she's Labour. Yeah, she's Labour as well.
Yeah.
Just look at Diane Abbott.
Oh God, don't
look at Diane
Abbott.
And tell me, put your hand on your heart and tell me, is she going to make a fabulous foreign secretary?
No.
Because that's where we're heading.
No.
Can you imagine her going up to Putin?
You're white. You're racist.
We're laughing. But the reality is, it could happen.
Yeah.
How insane is that? These people are morons. They are utter morons.
Do you know who Sarah Sanders is?
No.
No.
So she's the White House.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the spokeswoman. Yeah. Sarah. Yeah.
spokeswoman,
Okay. Dark hair. Yeah.
Yes,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. Yeah.
I love her. She's
got a super brain.
She lightens my day when she speaks.
Love her to bits. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's. You couldn't ask for a better woman in that sort of place.
She's no nonsense. She's no nonsense sort of person.
Do that. A man couldn't do that.
Mm.
No way could a man be able to do. And it's not just because she's a woman. It's because she really does have the strength and the will.
Oh yeah, she's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I bet she's a good mum as well.
Abacus meeting Sarah Sanders. Abacus meeting Sarah Sanders. Sarah Sanders would sit there.
Tear her to pieces.
She would just laugh. She would just laugh.
The conversation wouldn't last long. Well, there wouldn't be a conversation, would there, really? Because they're not on the same level.
Oh,
they couldn't have a conversation.
Yeah.
And she'd be like,
what would you talk about?
Secretary of the United Kingdom. Don't you
and you're a racist because you're white.
Sarah would just sit there laughing like, what is this going on?
Now, on that light note, we're going to end the show. We're going to end the show now. 2.5 hours long. It's been a good one. Right.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace out.